Good morning everybody, I am Sarah with the trains and today I'm heading off up to Sarah with the trains and today I'm heading off up to Sheringham for the Rails and Ales event at the North Norfolk Railway, so get ready to see some heritage diesel and steam. I would have got my traditional caramel shortbread for the morning journey, but the shop had run out, so I had to get dipped shortbread. What's that about? It's the best I could do. Let's head off.
We will be calling at Salhouse, Hoveton and Wroxham, Worstead, North Walsham, Gunton, Roughton Road, Cromer, West Runton and Sheringham.
So I have made it to Sheringham and the North Norfolk Railway. However, the first train isn't actually for another hour, but if I'd got the subsequent train to Sheringham, there would only have been about 5 minutes between that train getting in and the first train leaving the Heritage Station. So, got a bit of time to kill. The station isn't even open yet. It's the first time I've been here and it's all been closed up, so we're going to have a walk down to the sea, I think. So, as lovely as it is down here by the sea, it is still quite early in the morning, meaning that it is still really rather cold, and I'm starting to regret not bringing my coat. I do, however, know that there's a Costa in Sheringham, so I think I might go and spend some time there. Our first train of the day is being hauled by this Class 25. The locomotive we're currently riding behind, D7659 or 25309, is owned by the Waterman Railway Heritage Trust, and that is Waterman as in Stock Aitken and Waterman, or Pete Waterman, judge of Pop Idol. He made a success out of Kylie Minogue, Rick Astley and Steps, but who's ever heard of them? His main achievement in life is being a massive rail fan and being involved in model railways and railway heritage. The Class 25 was the last class of locomotive to be built at Bayer and Peacock's Gorton Works in Manchester. This particular Class 25 was built in 1966. It only returned to service relatively recently in 2021 after a 23-year programme of restoration, which basically included a complete rebuild of the locomotive. Now back to some glorious thrash. Now, I'm no expert, but I think there might be something a bit wrong with number 22. This saddle tank was built in 1956 by the Hunslet Engine Company for the National Coal Board to the austerity class design used by the Ministry of Defence. It was retired from service in 1978 and was purchased by the Appleby-Frodingham Rail Preservation Society in 1997. It was subsequently restored and then returned to steam in 2010. It currently wears the maroon United Steel Company's livery. As for whether we get to ride behind this locomotive today, you'll have to wait and see. Now this train has some fancy moquette, but let's talk about the locomotive. Now, as well as that lovely diesel sound, this Class 50, also known as a Hoover, was built in 1968 at English Electric's Vulcan Foundry, mainly to haul express services between Preston and Glasgow. In 1974, electrification reached Glasgow, and this locomotive was moved to Bristol and then on to Plymouth Lyra for expresses between Devon and Cornwall and London. It was named Thunderer in 1978 after the warship. It was withdrawn from service in 1992 and entered preservation at that point. It was restored to mainline standards and now works for Hanson and Hall.
We last saw 5008 Thunderer on the Merry Rally tour that I chased around last year. I must tell you all that you've got to come and see the Children's Model Railway with Thomas the Tank Engine here at Hull.
Now here comes D6732, a Class 37 built by English Electric in 1962. I have met this locomotive before, and it was actually the first Class 37 in preservation in 1996. So in spite of what I thought after seeing number 22 at Weybourne, it seems we are going to get to travel behind it after all. Also, I'm back on the fabulously springy seats in the Suburban set. As you can probably see, the weather has indeed turned and it is now piddling down with rain, unfortunately, which is why I didn't really film out of the window when I was behind number 22, because my lens would have just got soaked. Things have kind of gone off schedule a bit today because there's been issues with at least one of the locomotives that I'm aware of, so I'm not actually sure what the next train into Weybourne is going to be, but whatever it is, we're going to get it. We're going to go back to Sheringham and get something to eat. D6515, working on that double header there, is a Class 33 currently visiting from the Swanage Railway. It was built in 1960 for the southern region of British Rail and withdrawn in 1997. It was named Lieutenant Jenny Lewis RN in 2014 to commemorate Lieutenant Jenny Lewis, who passed away while in service with the Royal Navy. Hauling our next train to Sheringham is the Class 31 D5631, who I've seen a couple of times before when I've been filming here at the North Norfolk Railway. It was built in 1960 by Brush Traction and was withdrawn in 2001. It was purchased by the Midland and Great Northern Joint Railway Society in 2003, and as you can see, it's currently sporting the green British Rail livery. Pulling up alongside us as we wait to leave Weybourne is D6851, a Class 37 named Flopsy. Built at English Electric's Vulcan Works in 1963, it ran the last northbound service over the Waverley route in 1969, which was the 0830 Carlisle Kingsmore Yard to Miller Hill Yard. It is now owned by Locomotive Services and is based at Crewe. And just like that, I'm aboard a train again, this time being hauled by Class 33 Lieutenant Jenny Lewis RN. I'm now on board M56182, which is a Class 104 DMU. It was built by Birmingham Railway Carriage and Wagon Company and has gone through a 9.5-year period of restoration by father and son team Paul and Chris Moxon. It's now close to its original condition. As well as the lovely cat's whiskers on the front of the DMU and the beautiful moquette, you can also get a driver's eye view if you wander up into first class. For some reason on the way to Holt, I decided to situate myself right next to the toilet. Not sure why. The service to Holt was hauled by this Class 8 Gronk D3935. Built at Horwich Works in 1961, it was one of 996 produced between 1952 and 1962. It was withdrawn from service in 1994.
Why does the cat on this Cadbury's poster look so depressed? Enormous penalties as always. So that journey back to Sheringham on that Class 104 DMU being hauled by that delightful Gronk is going to be my last trip of the day. So I'm going to say goodbye from me. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that if you have enjoyed it, you'll leave a little comment below. I'm now going to head off into Sheringham and get some ice cream before I get my train home. I'll see you all next time for another railway adventure. Bye.
Hang on a minute, there's still one locomotive we haven't seen in action, and after my chips and ice cream I popped back to the North Norfolk Railway for one last look around, and was pleasantly surprised. This is number 1700, also known as Wissington. It was built in 1938 by Hudswell Clark as part of the Countess of Warwick class. It was built for British Sugar, but fell out of use in the 1970s due to the introduction of diesel. It was withdrawn from service in 1978 and was the last commercially owned steam locomotive in East Anglia. It was then bought by the Midland and Great Northern Joint Railway Society and sat on the static display at Sheringham. In 2010, a 2-year project of restoration began at Weighbourne, and in 2012 it re-entered service at the North Norfolk Railway. Now that we've seen Whissington head off to Weybourne, it really is time for the end of the video. I'd just like to say to everybody I met on the day, if you are watching, it was an absolute delight to meet you, and hopefully we'll see each other again in the future. Thanks very much for watching. As always, an extra special thank you to all of my patrons and channel members and anyone who donates to me on Ko-fi. You really do keep this channel going.